is the second consecutive year that we are holding this event organized by the OBA to help in the funding of the newly proposed Commerce Block. It is truly indeed a worthy endeavor, but it also provides a rare opportunity for us old boys to reconnect with old friends and to rekindle acquaintances from days gone by, and to come back home to our alma mater in this most hallowed of buildings, the College Hall. A word of gratitude to the organizing committee whose efforts and diligence paid off and made this night definitely a reality again. And a special mention of our sponsors. Our main sponsor tonight is Micro Holdings Private Limited. Our co-sponsors, Selinco Life, HVA Foods, LT Holdings, Sampat Bank PLC, Prestige Automobile Private Limited, George Stewart's Investments Private Limited, and Lanka Hospitals Limited. Thanks also to our media partners, the Sunday Times and the Daily Mirror. And so, to commence this evening's proceedings, may I call upon our fabulous orchestra, the Philharmonia players, to call us to rally around the college flag with the song that is dearest to our hearts, the college song, if you please.
This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move and then hear my heart burst again. For this is the end. Drowned and dreamt this moment, so overdue I owe them. Swept away, I'm stolen. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together at skyfall. At skyfall. Skyfall is where we start. 1,000 miles and poles apart, where worlds collide and days are dark. You may have my number, you can take my name, but you'll never have my heart. Let the sky fall when it together let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall and face it all together at skyfall. Where you go, I'll go. What you see, I see. I know I'll never be me without the security of your loving arms, keeping me from harm. Put your head in my hand and we'll stand. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together at skyfall. Let the sky fall. We will stand tall at Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy your dinner.
For more of the same, we're going to have some fabulous bits of entertainment for you this evening. So for those of you who are like me and who haven't brought your business card and with you, don't worry. If you there's some paper and pens outside at the front desk. Just jot your details down, or if you haven't already, please drop in your business cards in the bowl at the front. We've got some exciting giveaways later on in the evening, so please don't miss out. And now let me invite Mr. Dilshan Jayasuriya, the Secretary of the OBA, to come up and speak a few words of welcome. Dilshan.
His Lordship, the Bishop of Colombo, the Warden, Professor Indra D'Souza, the Sub-Warden, Reverend Mark Bilimoria, distinguished invitees, fellow Thomians, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the CTS OBA, I wish to extend a very warm welcome to all of you to the second edition of the much-awaited Spirits on Fire Gala Dinner. It is our absolute pleasure to see such a distinguished gathering of Thomians and their spouses this evening, indicating that this prestigious event is taking a legitimate claim for a regular slot in the annual OBA calendar of events. I cannot think of a more appropriate way to raise funds for the commerce building project than taking part in this gala dinner, which undoubtedly ignites the Thomian spirits deeply ingrained in each one of us Thomians. As a result of what I said last year, particularly about the young mothers admiring our fashionable warden, and about the photograph of Mr. Renganathan's wife, which he carried so faithfully in his wallet, they both almost lost their lives, wives, jobs and places of abode. Therefore, I do not intend to go down that path this year, and hence decided to call upon Mr. Kushan Dialvis, one of our distinguished old boys, to do the honors. In order to determine whether the outcome of that move would amount to falling from the frying pan to the fire, one has to wait and see. However, after what I said last year about the Warden's fan club made up of young mothers, Warden has made a conscious effort to look a bit old, mature and ancient, thus giving up his Gangnam-style modern looks. Since of late, he has refused to color his hair, and he has also started sporting a pair of ancient-looking glasses worn by his great-grandfather, the late Charles Henry de Souza. That is where the warden appears to have missed the point that good looks can rarely be concealed by cosmetic means and devices. We are meeting to dine and wine at a time STC is undergoing a major transformation. We are currently witnessing a significant resurgence in academic activities at college. Similarly, sports at college are also making great strides. An example being the college rugby team, which put on display throughout the recently concluded rugby season some of the best performances we have witnessed in the recent past. Also, college infrastructure is being upgraded to meet the present-day demands. The launching of the futuristic commerce building project is the most noteworthy among the infrastructure improvements that are currently being carried out. The aforesaid transformation is happening under the able guidance and leadership of our warden, who is actively and unhesitatingly assisted at all times by our sub-warden. Despite the warden being known to be a very trendy and up-to-date man, he has steadfastly refused to follow some of the national trends currently prevailing in Sri Lanka. Although being instrumental in completely refurbishing the big club grounds and laying the foundation for the construction of the commerce building, and also constructing a new row of toilets to replace the infamous lavabos, warden has not requested for the big club grounds, the commerce building, or the new row of toilets to be named after him as Indra de Souza big club grounds, Indra de Souza commerce building, or Indra de Souza latrines. However, though not following national trends, both warden and sub-warden have demonstrated that they are worried and scared about certain national practices. I am reliably informed that this is the reason as to why they have systematically cut down all the big trees located in and around the wardens and sub-wardens' offices. Because given the reputation of a particular grandfather of a child, they dread being tied to a tree over a minor issue and thereafter being compelled to issue a statement stating that the two of us tied ourselves to the tree. Ever since warden and sub-warden assumed office, the OBA has played an active role in rendering every possible assistance to make their genuine endeavors of taking STC to the next level a success. The OBA too has changed its outlook and moved into top gear to assist STC achieve its objectives. As during the preceding year, this year too, the OBA has organized a record number of events in order to foster the Thomian spirit among the fraternity of old boys, as well as to raise funds for college projects. The Spirits on Fire second edition is the first among a series of events lined up for this year. The other events being the Thomian Night Dinner Dance, the musical extravaganza, the education exhibition and career fair, and the much-awaited triathlon being organized after a lapse of a period of almost 15 years. The triathlon will bring together both present and old boys of all types, sizes, and ages with the singular purpose of raising funds for the commerce building project. This type of mass mobilization of present and old boys for a fundraiser was last seen during the construction of the sports complex, which was another first for STC back then. At this stage, I wish to thank the college administration for all the support and assistance extended to us in all our endeavors. It is my duty to pay a special tribute to our genial Vice President, Mr. Renganathan, without whose commitment and undying enthusiasm, majority of these events would not have been a reality. Mr. Ranganathan has been a tower of strength to both the OBA and college at all times of need. Also, it is my duty to sincerely thank the energetic organizing committee of these events headed by Mr. Ranganathan, comprising of Milinda Hettiarachchi, the inimitable father and son duo Roshan and Rayush Vijayaratna, who is responsible for this magnificent decor and the lighting outside, Sudat and Sharan Jayasundara, Chintaka Mendis, Tilan Vikramasinghe, N.L. Pereira, Tusita Dialvis, Shanil Jayasekara, Lucky Sirivardhana, N.S. Dayanandan, and the staff at Selinco Life. I also wish to pay a special tribute to the sensational Dillanarole brothers who have always performed at college functions very willingly and without any reward. The executive chef at the Mount Lavinia Hotel, our own Indika Jayawardena, and the Mount Lavinia Hotel team, and the event management team from Events Productions Private Limited also deserve to be commended for a fantastic job done. Before I wind up my welcome address, I would be failing in my duty if I don't relate one or two interesting stories about our warden, whom I admire very much. In the recent prize giving, it was mentioned that warden is very much a Norwegian as much as he is a Sri Lankan. Similarly, warden's wife, who is unfortunately not with us today, Anne Christine, is as much a Thomian as warden is. She accompanies the warden to all the college events, such as sporting encounters involving STC and other numerous social events. The warden, acting on the premise that his multilingual capabilities are extremely superior, has volunteered to do the much needed translations for his wife. Recently at a dinner theater, which both of them attended, the whole audience burst out laughing when the main actor said, "Naki vise geta tuse," referring to the talents of a prominent but aging politician in attracting young females. Naturally, the warden's wife wanted the warden to translate what was said in Sinhala. Warden, not wanting to be outdone, promptly translated "Naki vise geta tuse" and said it meant ancient erection goes above the rooftop. On another occasion, the warden introduced his wife to a very senior Thuomian who was a very polite and courteous man. Soon after the introduction, the gentleman told the warden's wife that she had a very beautiful name and wanted to know the meaning of her name in English. Having said what her name meant in English, she naturally asked the gentleman what the meaning of his name was. Warden, as usual, rose to the occasion to translate the meaning of the gentleman's name, but was quick to realize his folly when he realized that the Thomian's name was Sundaralingam. Warden just did not know how to translate the second half of the gentleman's name. Milinda Hettiarachchi, the self-proclaimed historian of all matters STC, who was present when this whole debacle took place, was heard to say that Sundaralingam, who was a boarder during his time, was well known for bathing in the infamous lavos, amply exposing the second half of his name. Milinda, who got so excited with the episode relating to the translation of names, made a quick retreat from the function and made another enemy on the way out. He met N.T. Silva on the way out and bid goodbye to him, saying, "See you, N.T." And that sent N.T. into a rage, assuming that he was called something very unsavory by Milinda. I shall now conclude by thanking each and every one of you for being present here today and adding glamour